Okay, getting ready to play Tennessee. Again, always a big game for the University of South Carolina. I don't know how big a game we are to them. They still lead the overall series. Pretty big. 22 wins, 5 losses. We've only beaten them once in Knoxville in the history of the series. Beaten them 4 times here. So it's always exciting for our guys to go up to Rocky Top and play the Tennessee Vols, a team with tremendous tradition, history of football. Back in my home state, East Tennessee, it's always a thrill just to go into that stadium and compete in the game. I've been lucky to go in there a whole bunch of times. I was just thinking the first time I went in there with Duke in 1982. So it'll be, again, a special thrill to go in there. Tennessee's a team that hasn't been quite as strong as they normally are. They've played some good halves against the top teams in the country, but they haven't been able to finish those games. And but we know they'll be ready for us, and we're a type of team that has not really clobbered anybody much, and it's going to be a down to the wire ball game. We got to believe that one. Very similar to Mississippi State and our other games that have been so close this year. So hopefully our guys can play one of our best games. It'll be different going without Marcus, although Marcus is going on the trip. Marcus indicated he'd like to be with his teammates, be on the sideline, be in the meetings. So we're going to pack him on the bus, on the airplane, and take him with us. So Marcus will be with us in spirit and encouragement, and I'm sure he'll be a super teammate on the sideline, cheering for his teammates out there. But other than that, Connor's ready for his 3rd start. Tennessee is starting a new quarterback, Worley, kid from up in Rock Hill. I'm sure he'll be fired up, excited to go. And our defense has got to continue playing well, maybe even a little bit better on 3rd downs. So offensively, we need to play a lot better. But it should be another heck of a game. 7-15, be a little coolest game we've had thus far this year. But I don't think it'll be as cold as the Clemson game was last year. It was one of the colder games, and our guys played pretty well that night. So hopefully the weather is something that we anticipate, look forward to it, and you shouldn't get tired when it's 45 degrees. So we're looking forward to this game, see what happens. Huge game for us, big game for them, and looking forward to it, see what happens. Okay.
Steve, what's the status of Kenny Miles and Eric Baker?
Kenny is okay. Kenny practiced last night. Brandon Wiles, again, is our starter. He's been healthy all season and has been practicing more. And we think he's a little bit better prepared to play than Kenny right now because of Kenny's wrist. But he was out there last night, and Kenny should get a lot of playing time, depending on how it goes. And Josh Hinch is our 3rd tailback in there. And Josh will probably play a little bit. He'll probably get out on the field. Walk-on kid who actually is from Knoxville, Tennessee, went to high school there. So Josh Powell probably getting the ball game somewhere.
Eric Baker.
Eric ran around last night. He's not quite 100%, but maybe by Saturday he will be. So he's going to be available for us also, Eric Baker.
For the background.
Coach, can you talk a little bit more about Justin Worley? I mean, maybe the product of the system, but he had huge numbers in high school, and clearly if they
obviously he was player of the year in the nation coming out of high school, and so he's obviously a very talented young man, and we'll have to see how it goes. I don't know a lot about him, to tell you the truth, except that he led Rock Hill to the state championship, and they won every close game they were in, and I know his team beat Jadavion Clowney's a year ago, one of those early games, came from behind. So this kid's got a winning track record, and they're going to give him a shot. So we got to play well.
Steve, how has the loss of Kyle Lunn affected the offensive line and maybe what you guys have been able to do somewhat?
Oh, it's probably affected a little bit here and there, pass protection wise. Kyle was having a good year. But Cody Gibson has stepped in there and done pretty well lately. So he's ready to go. Rockevius over there. And it's probably hurts a little bit because Kyle was having a good year. But when a guy gets hurt, you put the next guy in there and do the best you can. So our offensive line, I think, played pretty decent actually the last game. They were pretty decent against Mississippi State.
Coach, how do you assess your backups at quarterback?
Our backups at quarterback, well, we've got, of course, a package with Bruce Allington in there. Everybody saw that the last game, and in fact, the last drive of the game for us to score, he was in there 3 or 4 plays. So we have a lot of confidence putting Bruce in there and letting him go. Dylan Thompson and Andrew Clifford are behind Connor, and they're capable. I tell you, Dylan threw some pretty balls last night. Dylan's got a lot of potential. He's just never played much. He's here, second year here. And Andrew Clifford, he's got a quick release. If he can figure where everybody is and so forth, he could be a pretty good quarterback, I think. But right now, neither one of those two guys hopefully will be in there when the game's on the line. And hopefully Connor will be able to go the distance, hopefully.
John?
Steve, my understanding is you guys didn't offer Justin Worley a scholarship. Is that right? Or
I
he
don't-
just not fit your system? What was the deal there?
Yeah, I asked Coach Mangus about that later on in the year, and I think for some reason, Coach Mangus, you'll have to ask Coach Mangus more about it than me, to tell you the truth, is that we went in another direction towards quarterback. I guess we went for Tanner McAvoy, and that was just a decision we made early. Because, in fact, I was up there, we were recruiting the Dixon brothers. One of them was at the high school there at Rock Hill, and I remember asking Ellis, I said, how come we didn't go after this guy? But for some reason, we didn't. Probably should have, I don't know.
Coach, you haven't seen many snaps from Worley. Does that alter your preparation at all?
No, I would think he's a little bit like their first quarterback, Tyler Bray. And their offensive coach does a good job with those guys. Tyler Bray, I mean, he lifts guys off, he pumps it here, throws it there. They got some imagination. So I'm sure Worley, he can do those things also. I don't know if he can do them yet, of course. And we're trying to get our guys to look off better. You know, give a little shoulder lean here and there, and we're not very good at that. And I wish we could get better at that. But we'll just have to see how it goes. You know, but this kid's been a winner. There's no question about that. So he's not going to be afraid to go play. Our D line's got to play well. We got to keep constant pressure on him, hands in his face, things like that. Tennessee has not been a real good running team, although I'm sure they want to run. We all got to run some. So we got to stop the run first, stop the pass, like all good defenses do.
Steve, how much did it help your guys to have that off week and kind of get adjusted to the idea of Marcus's injury, see Brandon out there taking snaps and running with the ones? I mean, how much did that help this off week?
And we don't know till we play the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's all speculation until you play the game. But we are well rested. We've all, coaches, players, we had a little downtime last weekend to watch all the games around the country. And we know where we are. Our captains, by the way, I guess I need to tell you guys, we voted for captains during the open day, like we said we would. And Travian Robertson and Melvin Ingram, our two defensive captains. And on offense, Terrence Campbell and Alshon Jeffrey. And we just let the guys vote for top 4. So that they were the top 4. If we'd had 3 on defense, 1 on offense, or vice versa, we'd done it like that. But just the top 4 guys. So they're our captains, and I think these guys will do a good job providing a lot of leadership, direction for the team as we make the stretch run next 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks will decide our conference what we do in the division, SEC. And then after that, we'll decide what the regular season holds for us, those last 2 games.
Steve, you guys have gotten a ton of turnovers and made your share as well. Is that just cyclical, or is there an explanation behind all the turnovers in the games that y'all play?
Well, hopefully we're going to keep getting them, and hopefully not giving up too many. We've not given up. Most of our turnovers have been like long passes that are not. They're not good, but they're not as crucial as a turnover for a touchdown. We've been fortunate not to, throw a pick where they ran it back to the 2-yard line or something like that. So we've been pretty good in our territory most of the time. I think we've had a few fumbles, but very few picks. Most of them have been going in when we tried to hang one up to somebody and they outfought us or whatever, or tipped the ball, went to the other guys, which happened our last game. But we need to score more touchdowns. There's no question about that. Offensively, we need to hopefully get more than 2 a game as we go through this stretch run.
The fact that 3 of Connor's first 4 starts were on the road or neutral side, is that sort of accelerated development as a quarterback? It really doesn't matter where you play.
We try not to make it matter. If we had a choice, we'd play them all at home, of course. But we realize if you're going to have a big year, you got to win on the road. And we try not to make a big deal out of the road and the crowd noise. We've gone to picking up our foot in the shotgun, even here at home. Connor's voice is probably not as loud as Stephen's was, and a lot of times he'd go in there and the center said he can't hear him, so we just started lifting the foot here at home. And we did it even with Stephen some this past year also. TJ Johnson, he's playing well. Sometimes his hearing is not real good. And he's a young man too. Glenn, he's not up there in age. He's coach, I didn't hear him. Everybody moves and the ball's not snapped. So we say, hey, pick your foot up. We'll all go, TJ, when you're ready. And that does eliminate jumping offside.